Live from Happy Valley Studios, this is the MCS1 Show. And now your host, the guy who voted for Nader twice, MCS1.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of the MCS1 Show. I am MCS1.
And this is Caleb.
And we have a great topic today. First of all, we would like to announce that this is our New Year's special. Woo-hoo! Yeah. Cranking out the new year with a new show. So we figured we'd start the year off right with a great topic. Caleb, how'd you phrase this?
I kind of thought it kind of made sense best as stupid sports to have on TV.
Yes, and we're also going to use this as a chance to rip on fantasy football.
Yeah, it would be just basically kind of just a stupid sports overview.
Yeah, because I hate sports in general, but like stupid sports make it worse.
Oh yeah, okay. So the other day, I'm cruising through the TV,
Go ahead, Caleb has opening remarks this time.
And I'm just trying to find something good to watch. Okay. And
channel surfing.
Yeah.
Struggle.
Channel surfing is just so hard.
It is.
Especially when, it's 1 o'clock in the morning,
yeah.
whatever, and it's just hard. So my opening
Jerry
remark is
Springer reruns.
It's just I've already seen this episode. I know. He's actually a woman. And she's actually his mom.
My gay brother is going to marry my lesbian sister.
Yeah, it's just, what? I don't understand. Anyway. Weird shows, Jerry Springer. I don't know if it's fake. Probably
great show.
Fake. Just awesome show. Great ratings.
Anyway, go on, Caleb.
He should run for mayor.
Yes. Vote Jerry 2012.
Anyway, for my opening remarks, I just wanted to say, okay, there are certain things that should not be on TV. And the first one of those is the World Series of Poker.
I like how you said World Series, and then it's like a pause.
A pause
of
poker. Okay,
like, I didn't know there was such a thing that existed.
Yeah, it does, and it's like I was watching it, and I was just thinking to myself the whole time. Okay, first of all, how many of these guys started their, and I quote, career last week?
Oh, last week.
At a bar with their buddies, and they were just like, hey, there's the World Series of Poker is next week. Let's try to get in.
Yeah, it sounds like an idea for a bad type of movie.
Yeah.
It's like I can see the whole plot of Dodgeball being played with poker instead in this very same way.
Right. Only the advantage that the movie Dodgeball had is that
it was funny.
and it had Vince Vaughn.
Yes, and Ben Stiller.
I
like Ben Stiller. He's pretty good.
He's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and he's so funny in
with
that movie.
Patches O'Houlihan.
Oh, man. Remember, Dodgeball is a sport of degradation.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Yeah,
great movie.
Excellent movie.
Couldn't really do that with poker though, but you get the idea. Like you could take a standard sports movie and like a bunch of guys sitting around in a bar, and like the beginning of it could open up as like, "Hey, let's enter the World Poker Championship, yay!" And they end up winning, kind of thing. That's kind of what these people are doing.
Basically, and it's just like I remember watching it, and I was like, I kind of want to watch golf,
and
might be more exciting.
Oh man, I feel bad for the announcers for that because
what do you say?
How much can you say? And how many times can you say? Well, looks like Janine's got her poker face on. Like how many times can you say that? Or like oh he takes a hit.
Oh no!
Oh, he discards. Wow! What a great move by a great player. Yeah, he's a rookie.
He really knows his stuff.
He really knows how to discard.
Yeah.
Oh! A full house. I did not see that coming.
I didn't. What?
Wow, he's great. I mean,
his odds of winning now are above 50.
Wow! I mean, seriously,
it's like how much can you really say?
I mean, seriously, you got to have like John Madden in there.
Yeah.
The key to winning this game is, having a solid face and not moving at all. Like, how much can you do?
I can just see his John Madden analysis of that. He just pulls it up and it's got this guy's face and his cards. You see right here, he's got his face.
There's like a circle
it's
and an X.
A stoic expression. He draws a circle around the face and puts an arrow. Very stoic expression. If you look at his hand, though, he always puts it up. He always puts his hand up above his face, right on his nose. He kind of touches his nose there, circling that nose.
Like he used to be an ex-coke addict or something.
Yeah,
like
he was just
pre-young Charlie Sheen, if you will. Like,
and then you see, looking right below his eyes, you see his cards and his chips, and the key to winning is to have more chips than everyone else at the end of the game.
oh yeah, totally. If you have more chips, you will definitely win.
Yeah, you just need to make sure that you have more chips than everybody else.
Yeah, and that's how you win at poker, and it's ridiculous.
I mean, I just can't believe that is an actual sport.
Yeah, when did things like this turn into sport?
Like, I just don't understand that there's literally no athletic ability involved. Like, you don't have to be good at anything to be good at.
And it's like a pastime card game. When will Uno become a sport?
That's what I would. I mean, I rock at Uno.
Yeah.
So
the Phase 10 Championship of the World,
featuring MCS1 and Caleb.
I suck at Phase 10. I will get owned.
Yeah, and then it's just. Well, and that's the thing. Is like next up, we're gonna have Xbox 360 tournaments like televised.
Oh no! Oh! Haven't you heard of what's that called? There's a channel that does that.
Are you serious?
There's a video game channel that televises.
My God!
Things like that, like we're video game. Yeah, I guess like we're nerds are on there, and they went like it showed like the Street Fighter tournament once with.
Oh my gosh! You know the night.
I don't know the name of the station, but it's like, how do you explain this to your imaginary girlfriend?
Yeah. Well, and then the thing that I'm thinking every time I see that is just or hear something like that is it's just like, the 2000s need to basically apologize to the 1900s for everything that's going on.
Seriously.
Sorry, we didn't know that video games were going to be this crappy.
We didn't know Lindsay Lohan would be this bad either.
And we're really, really, really sorry about Charlie Sheen.
Oh yeah,
we're terribly sorry. And Tiger Woods, I remember he was awesome in the 90s.
Yeah,
sorry.
We have a lot. We have a lot to answer for in this.
We just have
century.
We just have a lot to explain. And I can just see the 1900s just looking at the 2000s, just going.
As they hit us with their top hats and pocket watches.
Exactly.
Or is that more 1800s?
And then they throw their extra money at us. Wait, what's that you say? Extra money?
Wow, we are awful.
Yeah.
Oh, and then it's just those video game network things. It's ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous network things, so shortly after 9/11. When we were going to come out, when the U.S. was going to come out of this this horrible thing that happened, I should say.
Right, this tragedy.
We
Absolutely.
came up with something else that was a great sport that we put on Fox, the Glutton Bowl. Did you see this, Caleb?
Yes.
It's one of those things that's really sad and embarrassing, but everyone has apparently seen it.
Yeah, and it's just it's another interesting point of culture now that's just I don't know.
I remember the final. I remember the thing I remember most about the Glutton Bowl was not the weird crap they ate, but at the very end, the competition was to see who could eat the most hot dogs.
Those have been going. I mean, those hot dog eating contests have been going on for years.
Yeah, seriously, they should have gallon challenged or something.
Yeah, I mean, a hot dog where it's like, okay, so have I been to the state fair before? Yes. Have I seen this? Obviously, because I've been to the state fair.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you want something awesome, the gallon challenge. Make these guys take the
gallon challenge. That's what I want to see.
If you could televise somebody taking the gallon challenge and failing, I'd totally watch that.
That would be funny. I wouldn't want to call it a sport, though.
No.
And that's what the Glutton Bowl did.
Ugh.
At the very end, the skinny Asian dude won, and then all the fat dudes were like really sad because their whole useless life and existence had mattered up to this moment, and they were beat by a skinny Asian dude.
Yeah. But it really was, honestly, and it's kind of funny, it was a strategy more than anything else.
Yeah.
Not that there's a strategy to eating food.
Yeah.
But I heard
the strategy was go backstage and vomit.
I heard that he dipped his hot dogs in water or something.
Oh.
Because the water supposedly condenses the bread so that it doesn't expand in your stomach.
Oh.
See, and so I that's what I hear. I don't know the science behind it. I'm not trying to be like, oh yeah, that's totally how he did it, because I know, and I
we are discussing the Glutton Bowl on the MCS1 show. Please consider us for sponsorship. Send sponsorship offers to the MCS1 show at gmail.com. The one is the number one. Anyway, so yeah, it's ridiculous. And at the end, everyone I remember what the announcer said, oh my gosh, announcing the Glutton Bowl. How far down has your career got to be to announce the Glutton Bowl.
Well, you must have had at least 7 heart attacks by now.
Oh gosh, no.
Due to the food that you actually. I mean, if you
I
know
bet
the names of half the things
yeah.
they ate,
I bet those people didn't even get paid for that.
probably not.
What will you get? They're like, well, here's what we'll do. You announce the Glutton Bowl, and we'll give you the leftovers. You mean I can feed my family? Well, maybe.
I mean, you never know. It's the Glutton Bowl,
Yeah,
buddy.
it's the Glutton Bowl. I mean,
It's not like we're buying tons of extra food, and even if
at
we
good
do,
quality too.
Yeah, I mean, these are like the Walmart give-offs. This is stuff that they
Yeah.
didn't even want.
So, but the announcer said at the very end of it, this man is the greatest athlete in sports history. One, how does eating a ton of crap make you an athlete? As far as I know, that makes you a fat piece of crap. Like, seriously, like, how does that make you an athlete? When I think of an athlete, I think of LeBron James.
The most hated man on the planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody that can do something that not everybody can do. Because let's face it,
I can eat.
I'm fairly efficient in eating.
Yeah.
I've been
Not
chewing.
as efficient as that guy.
No.
I've been chewing
and
since I got
he is
teeth.
the greatest athlete in the entire world.
I wonder what that guy's doing right now. I wonder if he's fat or if he's still skinny.
Or if
Because the
he's,
fact that he won the Glutton Bowl and he was a skinny dude, I wonder how he explains this to all of his friends. Because to him, it's funny because he's like this skinny dude that won. But like to the fat people that lost, it's like going home. It's like, celebrity boxing. That's another thing that was bad. It was ridiculous. There was some guy who got beat up by Screech from Saved by the Bell. Got beat up by Screech. And like with
Screech?
By Screech. And
Are you sure it wasn't a woman?
oh no, Screech is like apparently kind of buff now.
Really?
But still, Screech. And it's funny because it's like with fights, you can always be like, "Oh, how's the other guy?" But it's Screech, and everyone saw it on TV.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who got beat up, but obviously they'll never live it down.
No way.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the only way your popularity could come back after that is, well, winning the Glutton Bowl.
Yeah, winning the Glutton Bowl, which you got to be a skinny Asian dude to do that.
Yeah, and just water down your hot dogs.
Water down. Wow, I won this. Oh man, I don't remember if he gave a speech at the end, but that would have been awesome.
The skinny Asian guy?
Yeah.
Huh.
That would have been great.
We should look that up sometime at a party.
Yeah, at a
Maybe
party.
We'll look up a YouTube
yeah,
video.
seriously.
Hey, you guys got to check out the speech. The skinny Asian
Hey,
won the
you,
Glutton
get away
Bowl.
from that spinach dip.
Hey, put that down.
Yeah.
Caleb wants some.
Like, you don't even know.
You don't even know how much spinach dip he can eat.
You don't even know.
You'll never find out unless you let him see.
Yeah.
We'll have a mini Glutton Bowl right now.
So let's off of the Glutton Bowl, which is fun as it is to discuss. Let's discuss like another sports related thing. I don't
Phenomenon.
I'm not a big sports fan. I like hockey.
Okay.
Hockey's cool. But I hate it when people talk about sports. Period. Like, and they always use, like, for college teams especially, they always use the collective we. Like, oh, we played well today. And stuff. It's like, you're not on a team. You were sitting in the bleachers or sitting at home eating spinach dip at a party, hoarding the bowl. Like, you don't even know.
You don't even know how to play sports.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, I hate sports. But then, like, with talking, obviously, other things evolve. So let's get into the thing that has evolved so much that I truly hate. Fantasy football.
Or, as it is more commonly known, Dungeons and Dragons for nerds.
Yeah, for jocks.
Or for jocks,
For
for
jocks.
jocks.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons for jocks.
Pretty much.
Yeah, dude, I got this +1 counter for my quarterback. He's so good now.
Oh, man.
I'll never get one. Can we trade cards?
Yeah, because they trade, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They treat it like an actual, league.
Yeah.
Like they treat it as if it matters what they're doing.
Yeah, and clearly it doesn't.
Definitely.
There was a quote by Adam Carolla in his book, In 50 Years We'll All Be Chicks. And it said in there, the reason we have things like fantasy football is because we don't have enough real problems in the world to occupy our time and actual problems. So we start complaining about fantasy football and how bad our team is doing and all this other stuff. So I looked up some stuff online, and I found this thing. It was like reasons fantasy football sucks, and they weren't good reasons. It was like you find yourself cheering for your fantasy football team rather than your actual team.
Yeah, like your real life team.
Yeah, like your city team.
Like, say you're from Pittsburgh and you like the Steelers, but on your fantasy football team you've got somebody from the rival team.
Yeah, it's stupid. Or whatever. So, I found this thing online. It was this article on fantasy football, and it was like team names or whatever. And I'm not going to go through much of it, but like here's what it says. And this is from back in August. And it says, listen to this. Just the first sentence sets me off. The time is now to start seriously thinking about fantasy football. Wow.
Seriously thinking.
The time is now.
What is this, a political campaign?
Like, I guess so. It's like, why now? Is it because the economy's bad and we got nothing? There's no hope? Is it because we're finally done hearing about Charlie Sheen?
I don't know that we'll ever be done hearing.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Charlie
I mean,
Sheen.
like, really, why now?
Why not next week?
Yeah, I mean, why not a week early? Like, why now? Is it because football season's starting up? Well, then last year it was the time to start seriously thinking. But now it's like, it makes it seem like they're starting some sort of fantasy football revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're going to rise up and take over the White House with their imaginary teams.
Yep, and then V from V for Vendetta is going to come out and,
destroy them.
He's gonna revolt, blow up some buildings and stuff.
Yes. So here we go. As the dust settles on the 2011 free agent frenzy, it's time to really sink your teeth into a new season.
Is this a mixture of fantasy football and the Glutton Bowl?
Well, okay, the dust settles. They make it sound like it was a fight, like out in the wilderness, like out in the middle of like a western desert fight.
Yeah, which it's not.
It's not. What did this happen? It was a bunch of guys sitting around wearing suits, talking about who was going to end up moving to which city for how much money. That was it. The dust settles. There's no dust to settle. I doubt there's even a speck of dust in that room with how clean they keep it.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's so stupid. And then sink your teeth into a new season? Like you're really going to like bite into getting a new like player or something.
Yeah.
No, it's like they're trying to make everything sound extreme when it's not.
Yeah, in fact, I think this is about the least important thing that these people are probably doing in their lives.
Seriously. Okay, so moving on. What trades and signings made the biggest impact? What rookies will be studs and what players will be poised to blossom into terrific pros? All questions that need to be answered. Need to be answered. This is like the word need. Like back to the spinach dip guy.
I need it.
I kind of need the spinach dip. I kind of need these questions answered. Okay, let's talk life or death questions here. Okay. What trades and signings made the biggest impact? Is this a life or death question?
No.
What rookies will be studs?
Nope. No, I'm not feeling it.
No.
Besides, what kind of studs? Like ear studs or horse studs?
I'm thinking horse studs.
Okay.
Like
horse studs.
Like I think that's kind of on lines with what Brett Favre was doing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, and what players are poised to blossom into terrific pros?
Still not.
No, not really a life or death question.
Maybe.
Let's hear
the next question.
Yeah,
maybe.
No, that's it.
That's it. Okay.
No, there's nothing really life or death. This one might be if you're a gambler and you owe money to a ton of sharks, and you kind of need to know to like get out of debt.
Sure. Okay.
What players are good for teams to bet on, but other than that, not so much.
Even then, I mean, yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
For the common man reading this article. Probably not a life or death situation.
No, not at all. I don't really see this in Time Magazine.
Yeah.
Time Magazine, the fantasy football that killed us all. Like, I don't see that happening.
Why did I draft Brett Favre?
Why? So, but it says before you can make any sort of decisions, coming up with a good team name is essential.
Essential.
It's another word like need.
That doesn't sound very essential.
Yeah, apparently is. And a team with a guy's name or his favorite team is incredibly lame and unoriginal. I'm not going to argue there.
Okay.
In my fantasy football
point
team,
one.
Yeah, you got 1 point when you're negative
so
like
he's
50.
He's got 1 point. We've got 20. So
yeah, and the points matter here. This
comfortable
isn't whose line
lead.
is it anyway.
Yeah.
So there may not. All right. There may not be an award for it.
You mean there isn't
Yeah,
an award
so
for it? Take out the may not, like the reasonable doubt portion of that,
Yeah.
and just put doubt. There is no award
Yeah,
for
seriously.
this.
But the guy with the best team name is always well respected amongst the rest of the league. Okay. First of all,
Well respected.
well respected. Like, okay, wow, that's a great name. I respect him.
Good.
Yeah, like you have respect of other dorkish jocks.
Yeah, like the nerdy jocks.
And probably like that finance major I ran into like a couple weeks ago at that party.
He probably has 3 different teams though.
He probably does, and they probably all have good names, and he probably gets respect.
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
Seriously, the guy gets more respect than the Godfather
Yeah.
with those great names.
Yeah, and people are coming to him on the day of every wedding, trying to
Yeah.
get him to do favors, for their fantasy football
Yeah.
team, of course.
Will you draft Michael Vick for me? Please.
You come to me on the day of this wedding, and you tell me that you want me to draft this man?
You want me to get rid of my best dog fighter? I mean, really? So anyway, it's it wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be, but still kind of funny. But yeah, respect of. Now let's talk about the people that play fantasy football.
Play,
Play.
Play. Generally something, when I think of play, it's interactive, at least a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, so I got a great story about fantasy football. Probably the real reason behind my hatred towards it.
I like stories.
Oh yeah, so this one's good.
But you don't even know.
Like you don't even know.
I know 10 guys that hate people that have fantasy football teams.
Like you don't even know.
You don't even know.
So what ended up happening is,
Wait, are you saying you're a hater?
I guess I'm a hater when it comes to fantasy football.
All
Not
right.
gonna lie there. So what ended up happening was when I was in I think 9th or 10th grade, I had an algebra teacher. I've mentioned this guy before in previous shows. And what he did was he would play fantasy football on his computer. And every time we would come ask him for help, he would rage out at us and yell, like, why don't you know this stuff? It's like, well, one, because you're not teaching us, because all you did is play fantasy football all the time. And he would get mad because we disturbed him from playing fantasy football. But in reality, okay, I went to a small high school, so we had about 20 kids in this class. 20 kids' education, apparently, is not as important as his fantasy football team. Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks. Talk about putting all your priorities in the wrong place. Thanks a ton. So, yeah, thanks a lot, you awful teacher.
Yeah, that is awful.
So
I mean, there's no other way to say it.
He would do his fantasy football thing, and every time we'd come up, he would yell. Awesome. Just awesome. And because of that, pretty much half the class failed math. Great.
He's an inspiration to us all.
He is Teacher of the Year award. Like, you don't even know.
You don't even know how many Teachers of the Year awards he won.
Yeah,
He won like 10
like 10 of them, bro.
because he was so good at fantasy football.
So,
You don't even know.
and then, so it's like, back to, okay, but the guy with the best team name. And then it goes on, so talking about, so what makes a good team name? And it said involving current players with rhymes or dirty jokes are the gold standard.
I'm sorry, there's a gold standard.
Gold standard of fantasy football league names. My gosh. Wow.
Why is there a standard at all?
I don't know, but apparently, as it says in this next sentence, using guys that aren't in that, and then he capitalizes, he puts in bold and capitalized, NFL anymore is not going to cut it. Not going to cut it. I mean, come on. It's like, do you go to some site, you punch in a name, and there's like an automatic, like, one of those things where
Not gonna cut it.
yeah, it just pops up. It's like, not going to cut it. Not going to cut it. Not going to cut it.
Terrible name.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, awful name. So, it says the more creative, the better. Well, duh.
That's in pretty much
But don't
anything.
use yesterday's news. Hold up. That means any Charlie Sheen joke is off limits. That was so 4 months ago.
What? We can't use Charlie Sheen show?
Guess not.
This is the worst day of my life.
Oh, yeah. So further on in this article, it says, it's not an easy task. Yes. Oh, an easy
They make it
task.
sound like this matters.
Yeah, like, they sound like this cares. Like, it's like, man, it's so much easier to name my children. Like, that's what they're treating this like.
Oh, man.
So, and the criteria for evaluating a good team are up for debate. And then it says, but keep the above factors in mind. Why does he need to say that? He already stated it. So now he's just rehashing himself.
Keep the above factors in mind?
Yes.
But I already did.
Yeah. Oh, I skimmed through them, so I really didn't. So then it goes on and talks about great names that they have for fantasy football.
Could you read one, please?
I will read... Oh, I don't know if I really want to. This one looks bad. All right, I'll read this one. It's called Corn on the Shab.
That's a terrible joke.
Yeah.
That's very punny.
They're all punny. Here's one. Desi Does Dallas.
Desi Does Dallas?
Yes.
That sounds like a terrible movie from like...
It's supposed to be off of wide receiver Des Bryant, and then off of the 70s porno. And then these are just awful. Like they're bad puns, and they're not good. So it's like even things like not just fantasy football itself is lame, but things revolving around it are just completely useless and an utter waste of time. It's like, society, please knock this off. Like, we got like AIDS, hunger, acid rain, all this other crap going on in the world, and you're worrying about your fantasy football league? Knock it off. It's awful.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And it's an epidemic.
Yeah, I failed high school math because I had a teacher who wouldn't care more about students than he did about fantasy football. Thanks a lot. To the dork who made this up, I don't know if you're dead, but I hope you are spinning in your grave. Shame on you. Shame.
For shame.
Shame. All right, well...
Dude, you didn't even know how many things he invented.
Yeah, you don't even know. He invented like 10 fantasy football games. Like you don't even know.
Yeah, you don't even know what kinds.
So, we're coming to a wrap at the end of the show. For our closing remarks, I just want to say that, like, 1, fantasy football sucks. Knock it off. 2, these things that are sports that are considered sports that shouldn't be sports aren't sports. They shouldn't be on ESPN. It's like we're running out of ideas of things to do.
I'd much rather watch like a dodgeball tournament than the World Series of Poker.
Yes, dodgeball tournament. It's
at least there's some action.
I know there's something going on rather than, oh, he blinked.
Oh, look at that. He's wearing his shades today.
Oh boy, he's got his shades.
I don't know about this one.
What his eyes are doing. Yeah,
I don't know about this guy.
Ridiculous. Anyway, that's our show for the evening. Like I said, if you guys have any fan mail, hate mail, like
hate on,
like we don't even know.
We don't even know how much you hate us.
We don't even know, and we'd like to know. So send your fan hate mail, questions, comments, whatever you want, to the MCS1 show,
and we might read it.
Yeah, and we might read it. Send to the MCS1 show at gmail.com, and the 1 is the number 1. And also, if you are looking to sponsor us for our show, please send your offers in there as well. So, once again, I'd like to thank Caleb for coming in.
Anytime.
And Happy New Year, everyone. I hope that you all have a New Year's resolution that you actually follow through with.
And I hope that New Year's resolution includes not watching the World Series of Poker.
Or having fantasy football. Good night, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.